The fight over Obamacare and the budget battle seem to be joined at the hip. Senator Ted Cruz, a rising star in the Republican Party, played a huge role last week in the run-up to the shutdown, railing for 21-plus hours on the Senate floor against Obamacare, even calling out members of his own party. Well, last night he directed his fire at the Dems, making this offer, saying, quote, "If Harry Reid forces a government shutdown, I intend to donate my salary to charity for each day the government is shut down." Nice offer, but Senator Cruz not scoring points with one prominent Republican in the House. Congressman Peter King joins me now with the real story on what went down before the shutdown. Good to see you, Congressman.
Hey, Gretchen, good luck on the show.
Thank you so much. Is it true that you called Senator Ted Cruz's supporters Cruz crazies?
No, I didn't use the word Cruz crazies. I said the Cruz wing of the party was taking over. It was a minority, and it was driving the whole train forward. And it's basically just going over the cliff. I think the term Cruz crazies was used in the headline. No, I didn't say that. I mean, I think Ted Cruz, I've said he himself is a fraud, and I said that he is leading us in a terrible policy. But that's one bit of alliteration I didn't use, Cruz crazies.
Mm-hmm. But you say you're tired of being a facilitator for a disastrous process.
Oh, yeah.
In what way?
Because this makes no sense. There was no end to this. Ted Cruz went around this summer and was sending out robocalls and advertising himself, saying that if the House voted to defund Obamacare, that would end Obamacare. Well, we did it. He failed in the Senate. He knew he was going to fail. The votes were never there. Now it's back in the House. It goes back to the Senate. It's back to us again. The fact is Obamacare is not going to be defunded. He knew that all along. He sold a false bill of goods, and he got an element in our party, in the House side, to go along with him. This was not what the leadership wanted. This was not what the Speaker wanted, not what the Majority Leader wanted, but he was able to get 30 or 40 people to threaten to vote against the party unless they went his way.
Right.
So in effect, he's hijacked our party.
So you say he's hijacked the party, although there are many people in the party who, quite frankly, are siding with him, and they're mad at you.
Well, they can be mad at me all they want. The fact is, in the Senate, I think he had 18 people voted with him. And I can tell you, in the House of Representatives right now, if we had a secret ballot, clearly a majority of House Republicans would vote to reopen the government, and they would vote against Ted Cruz. I can tell you the anger on the floor is there. But the fact is, they're boxed in. They're in districts where they're afraid of primaries, which I understand that. These are red seat districts.
Right.
And they are concerned that they... Yeah.
You're saying, Congressman, that if, in fact, the votes were not public, that last night the vote would not have gone as it did, because you took Speaker Boehner aside and you tried to woo some 25 other Republicans to come to you and have a different outcome, correct?
Absolutely. We would have got a lot more than that. Yeah. Go ahead. Yeah, because there's so much opposition to this. This policy is madness. It is going absolutely nowhere. Now, having said that, it is where it is, and I think it's important for the president now to come in. He can't afford to sit on the sidelines. I'm not in any way defending his practices. They are totally wrong. He should be in negotiating. But again, we should not have set this process where we say the government is going to shut down unless a law is defunded, which has been legally passed by both houses, signed by the president, and went to and was ratified in a national election.
But Congressman King, what do you do to bring the Republican Party together? Because right now, you know that all the polls are blaming Republicans for this shutdown, and it looks as if it's just all about the infighting instead of what many believe we should be talking about today, which is Obamacare not working.
No, the fact is, that's right, and that's Ted Cruz's fault. Ted Cruz led us down this path. This was a disaster from the start. I could have predicted this, and this is what the leadership predicted 3 weeks ago when they said they would never pursue defunding because it was going to work against us and we'd be blamed. But Ted Cruz insisted that his people follow him, and we did it, and that's why we're in this position. It's his fault, and he wants us to get him out of it. Listen, I'm saying the president should negotiate, but I'm saying this was caused by Ted Cruz and his acolytes in the House of Representatives. They led us down this dead-end street, and that's why Wall Street Journal, Karl Rove, Tom Coburn, all solid conservatives said this was a terrible policy to begin with. We had Republican senators say it was the dopiest idea they ever heard of. Ted Cruz is to blame, and those in the House who stand with him have brought about this train wreck. It's up to us to try to get it out, and it's up to the president to step in and stop standing on the sidelines.
Some very strong words from Congressman Peter King. Thanks so much for being our guest today. See you soon.
Thank you. Appreciate it.